Hey, everybody, it's me, Jonathan Millard, the voice of the Vale, and welcome to another Big Hype podcast brought to you in association with Hype Energy Drinks and Bravos Boxing Equipment. Protect yourself at all times. Joining me today, though, a very special guest all the way from Liverpool via his home to my studio to your ears. It is Ethan George. No, it's not. Ethan
Brown.
Bugger, I fucked up already. Great. I'm just winning. Why did I say Ethan George? Because Ethan George is a Welsh.
To be honest with you.
Well, let's just talk about Ethan George for a second, because he's a nice guy, and he was supposed to come on the podcast, but his fight got cancelled. Then he got moved up to London, and he was still. We just haven't caught up yet. So I'm still thinking Ethan George.
The mad thing about that is, my nutritionist set my plan up and put on my nutrition plan Ethan George.
Oh wait, at least you're not. At least you're already known for making that kind of. That's fine. And he boxes for Tom Skinner, didn't he? And Tom Skinner's up that way.
I've never seen him.
No.
No.
Oh, right, okay. I've done a few shows for Tom back in Tom Skinner. No, yeah, Tom Stalker. Sorry, not Tom Skinner.
Yeah.
Tom Skinner's another guy. Tom Stalker. Stalker's gyms. He's a good lad as well. Anyway, I digress. Let's get this right and do it properly. Ethan, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. It is good to have Ethan Brown with me today.
That's the one.
We asked the same question to everyone who starts on the podcast. How and why did you get involved in boxing?
So early on, I played football. I was decent at football, and I really wanted to box. My dad boxed. He was a good amateur.
Okay.
And so did my granddad, but my dad didn't let me. He wouldn't want me to box. He said it was too hard. So I had to stick at the football, and I got dropped by a couple of academies and Liverpool schoolboys.
Yeah.
And fell out of love with football. And my dad ended up taking me down to Gemini, John Rice, and that's where it all started there.
So where did you start? Which gym did you start?
Gemini and Speak.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And how did you find it then? How was your first? Do you remember your first time in the gym?
Yeah, I went in. There was loads of bigger lads in there. I think I was 11, 10. Loads of bigger lads. It was a bit intimidating at first when I first went in. Then I loved it.
Yeah. They started talking to you.
My first week ended up sparring. As soon as I got it, and I always loved it.
See, that's where we differ. I got hit on the nose in like the second week, and I was like, I'm never going back. That's it. I'm done. I like my face too much.
Yeah, you go one way or the other.
Yeah, there you go. Okay. Well, that's good. So you were 10, 11, you said, when you first started boxing?
Yeah.
Excellent. And obviously you had a bit of an amateur career as well out of that.
Yeah. Well, before
how did you get on your amateurs?
Before I stepped foot in the gym anyway, I did pads with my dad's, and that's all. I weren't brand new to boxing. I'd already had a little bit of a background to it.
But you hadn't fought until you stepped into the gym, though, really. You hadn't got into the ring with anyone, so yeah. So how did your amateur career go then with sort of starting off? Again.
I had the 3 skills bouts.
Mm-hmm.
I had 3 of them, and then went straight into the bouts. I ended up won my first 9, undefeated in 9, and then I got to the national final. I boxed a kid called Adam Hussein. He was like the European champion at the time, and got beaten in the final in my first year. So yeah, I started well, and then to be honest with you, I got there and I wasn't even training hard, so I thought boxing was a doddle. Started slacking in the gym and that, and then it started catching up with me. I lost a few then. But overall, I think I had about 30, 40 fights, only lost about 9.
That's an impressive record. I mean, that's 70, 75, 80%, roughly. Then that in itself is difficult. The whole thing about the apprenticeship, obviously the amateurs, we say it's an apprenticeship for boxers, and it's an opportunity to try and, try new things, different things. And when did you finish then? When was your last amateur fight?
So I boxed. I went to the Solly. I had 1 for them, and then went back to Gemini. I ended up boxing, and I went to Denmark and had 1, and then went in the championships. I got beaten in the area by a good kid. There was on a split by a good kid. I thought I should have won, and then I went missing for 2 years. It was about 18, and I went missing for 2 years. I didn't box for 2 years. It was about partying and whatever.
It happens. It happens to young men, I gotta say.
I know. I'm glad that happened when it happened, to be honest with you. So
you're not the first, and you won't be the last. So Don't panic about that. You're in good company as well. It's quite a few different boxers we've had come on the podcast, and others I know as well who have said exactly the same as you. Then it's disappeared off for a little bit, got a little bit of experience, got a little bit of life, and off the rails a little bit. Yeah, that's fair enough. Like, we get it. We understand, don't we? Cool. Okay, so then come back into the gym, and what was the thought then after 2 years out? What was going through your mind when you thought about coming back to the ring?
So, to be honest with you, me coach, I went and meant to meet the Aachen, and I wanted to turn pro. He had one pro at the time, Nathan, and he said to me, "What do you want to do? Do you want to stay amateur or?" But I knew I wouldn't have ever boxed again if I stayed amateur, to be honest. So I turned over.
Okay. So you came back with the idea of not going back into the pros because it was done. It was done for you. You've done that bit. Need to move on. There's opportunities, and you seized the opportunities because you've 7 fights altogether so far.
Yeah.
7 fights, all 7 wins as well. So wow, you started off. Obviously the right decision to make. Obviously because you went back in the amateurs. Again, what for you? What's the difference between the amateurs then and the pros? We'll come to the actual bouts in a minute. And just what's your thoughts on the differences between amateurs and the pros?
It's a slower pace. It's more sitting down. You shot your time to hit your opponent rather than score points. Mm-hmm. They're the main differences. It's heavier on your legs, really. Okay. I found anyway. I always had very skinny legs. I still have now. But I can tell a difference since I turned over. Like, where you're sitting down on your legs more, it's over the longer arms and stuff.
That's because you skipped leg days, mate. You should never skip leg days.
I do, to be honest with you.
My PT tells me that all the time. I'm like, I don't want to do legs today. He's like, your knees need conditioning. Oh, okay. So good. Okay, so difference on the body, different techniques and different styles, obviously as well. So getting used to that as well, mate. So
and I get it. Paid after your fight as well.
What can I say to that? What am I supposed to say to that? Yes, it's a nice thing to get money after boxing. I personally like that feeling when I get paid at the end of the night. Of course I do. It's at the end of the week, whatever it is, whenever you're getting money, it's always nice to have money in your pocket. But definitely. That wasn't the real driver, though, was it? Really, to get back into the pro boxing. So pro boxing,
the money's not it doesn't pay the bills right now. So that's not the reason at all.
I was going to say it probably hasn't filtered down enough yet, and that's something that I guess the people who are trying to call the shots and trying to make boxing better. I'm sure that there will be some trickle down eventually to some of the smaller halls, and the UK scene as a whole. Because at the moment, UK boxing is booming. We're basically dominating. There's not many Americans coming through the scenes. Obviously, there's a few. There's a few there. Obviously, there's a few Canadians. There's a few everything. But British boxing seems to be the driver, and everyone seems to be interested in British boxing as well. So we've got. I think there are some American fighters out there. I'm not knocking everyone like there are. There's ones, but we don't. I think they're the guys who are sort of looking at it, going, "Oh, well, Britain's got a bit of scene. America's got a good scene." Yeah. Cool. Okay, so 7-0, undefeated so far in your record, and you've got a little bit of you've got some celebrity journeyman in there as well. So you've got some great names there. You've got Jimmy Quinn, Carl Sampson, another great boxer as well. Lee Hallett as well is in there as well as one of your first few bouts you had. What was it like?
Oh yeah, the box Lee. Yeah, sorry.
I was going to say you saw your boxer accent.
I was thinking of Lee Connolly. I was meant to fight Lee Connolly, but I didn't end up boxing him. To be honest with you, he's better than his record suggests. Lee Allen. He's a tough fella.
He is. He's always been one of my favourite ones to announce because I like actually watching him box because he's actually very. And he's educational. And I mean, this is what we say with boxing. As I've said on the podcast before, is the journeymen are educational for you.
Yeah,
they're not easy wins. They're not easy wins. There were people say, "Oh, it's a walkover." No, it's not. You will say that. You've been in there, so you know. I am not a pro boxer, but you are. So tell us about that. Tell us about it.
Yeah, everyone does think what you just said, that it's just going to be a walkover. But them men, they're tough as nails, honestly. like I got in with Liali, and I hit, as soon as he hit him, my hands were killing, and I just thought this is going to be a long night. This, but if you looked at his record, you'd think it wouldn't go very far. But he's one strong man.
He is quite. He's a tough old cookie,
Yeah.
and he's a good old boy. So you know, I always take my hat off because, like I said, I like to announce him because he's 60 fights or something like that.
Yeah.
50. I've got 50 something in my mind, but he's probably past that now because I haven't called him for a while. So, well, he's not really boxing now. But anyway, so they're there to do something. How have you felt that you've gone through them? Because obviously you're like Lee Hallett, you're Carl Sampson's. You know, they are tough cookies. And
Yeah. So,
what was your thoughts and plans on going through those routes at the moment?
So the first, my first 4 fights, looking back now, because I had like a year out, near enough a year out the ring, or a year out the ring, and I've come back. I feel like I've developed my man strength now, like I'm hitting harder. I feel like I could have stopped. I could have got them out of there. Like my last 3 fights, I've stopped. But yeah, I want to move on now, and no disrespect to a journeyman, but I want to move through the levels now and start fighting people who are gonna come and try and take me head off.
So what's the plan then? Let's ask that question because obviously we're 7-0 under the belt. And like you said, there's no disrespect or anything in that list. It's just obviously where you're going to go from it. You've been quite clear with me so far. You wanted to turn pro. You wanted it to. So what's next?
So I was initially booked to fight in 2 weeks' time in Liverpool for the Central Area title. Against Hugh Wilson, but I broke my hand first bar of camp. Caught someone on the elbow, my hand broke, so I've had to sit out for a little bit. I'm just getting back in the gym. I've stayed in the gym running and stuff, but I'm starting to like tap now with that hand again. So I'm hoping to be back out soon.
How do you cope with it? Because obviously that's a massive blow to your.
Yeah.
You know, you've got the fight that you wanted. You wanted a regional championship, a Southern Central, a Northern, whatever it is. An opportunity has come your way, and something like that has happened. How do you get through that mentally, Ethan?
To be honest, it's not. I've done it before. So when I turned over, I was meant to make my debut and broke my hand before I made my debut, so I had to sit that out as well. So it's not new for me. My career's been starting. Nothing's been easy so far. Like. So I've stayed in the gym, carried on running and stuff, been using one hand. My jab's going to be firing when I come back.
Well, the jab takes you around the world. It's the
I know.
It's the hook that gets the gold. So that's fair enough, mate. So you just keep on. You don't stop. There's never a stopping moment. Then you think, oh, do you know what? That's it.
The as come as I say, I've had enough. Yeah, as I say, I've had a few like times where fights have fell through. I've had like time out the ring, my hand's been broke. I've thought it'd be better just getting a job here. Like just going and getting a normal job. It doesn't pay. But I've just said to my family, I'm knee deep now. I've come too far to turn back now. So full steam ahead.
That's good because I mean obviously there are probably times where you thought it and gone, might as well get a job. Yeah. What other options can I do? What else can I go? Where else can I? Who else can I? Can I go the journeyman route? I'm sure that's probably on your mind as well. Getting out every other weekend and a couple £100 in your pocket, and going through the rounds with people. But like you said, they're tough cookies. So, you're going to be out there every week. Is that something that ever struck your mind? Is that sort of something you went, that's something I wouldn't mind? But, I'm sure it has. But
sorry, you broke up there.
It's all right. It's all right. As I was saying, did you ever consider going down the journeyman route? Did you ever think about that?
No, I couldn't ever do that. No disrespect to them, but my pride wouldn't let me do it. Like realistically, they're in there to lose, aren't they?
I'm not. It's a unique business, boxing. I think you got a bit of signal, but it's a unique business as boxing, and we obviously have. And like I say, no disrespect to them, they are there to do a job. They are there to enhance the talent, as they say. They're there to put you through it and get you used to the bigger stages, the brighter lights. you very well come from from the amateur background. I've done a few amateur shows in my time. I used to referee and judge as well. You're in a workman's hall or workman's club. Sometimes you're in a leisure centre for a championship. There's no one there, or very few people there, just your coach, maybe their coach, the boxers and the officials, and you just get on with it and box. Now you're in front of 100, 200, 300, 500 people, and it's good to know that the person there is, he's going to go with you through it, and that's educational, I suppose, in that respect, and enhancing you as a talent. So that's the sort of thing. Okay. So southern, I keep going southern, central area title. Matty will kill me if I keep calling it the southern. He'll jumping up and down with me one day. But it's like central area championship. Is the obviously the hand at the moment? How's the hand at the moment? Is it 90%, 80%?
Yeah, I've literally just today started using it again.
Okay.
So
left or right? Sorry, just out of curiosity. Curiosity, you're probably not left. She left. Oh, that's okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I've started using it again today. So hopefully in the next couple of weeks I can start using it fully.
Good. And the coach, what's he saying about that at the moment? What are they saying about that?
He took me on the pad today. He was just like making me tap to left-handed and use the right. He just said, take your time. If you feel any pain, just take it easy. Just don't want to go back to the start again.
Absolutely. You don't want to have a setback now again to push you back another 6 weeks, 12 weeks or whatever it is before an opportunity comes up. Is there any sort of inklings of a bout already? Is there some sort of questions? The management sort of side said to you?
There's something in place. If my hand was all right in 5 weeks, which I think I'm going to be all right for, because I've stayed in the gym, I'm fit. It's only a 6 hours to just get me back out. So I think that'll probably come off like.
Big Hype Podcast, sponsored by Hype Energy Drinks.
Okay.
Are you allowed to say at this stage, or is it just
I'm not sure. It's abroad, like it's in Germany. Yeah,
that's nice.
Yeah. So
can I come with you as well?
Yeah, if you want.
I've never been to Germany. I'd like an opportunity to announce someone in Germany. That'd be great. German coaches and
come with us.
Let me know. My German's awful. I got a GCSE in German, but I really can't remember a single word of it.
I don't know a single word.
It's good. Well, again, that's a good opportunity though for you. Have you been away corner then? Quite a few. Have you been away tight corners before?
Once I went to Malta. Fought in Malta.
Yeah.
That's the only one really, though. All my other fights.
What's it like being? Oh right, yeah. Well, yeah. It's on home ground around the corner from everyone's house, around the corner from Mr. Bob Blundell. Absolutely, it's right. He lives next door basically.
I know.
Liverpool celebrities like him. But yeah, no. I mean, he'll poke me now because he'll go, "Why are you talking about me in your podcast for?" Anyway. So being away corner, being the away fighter though, and travelling, well, how does that affect you? How does you get through? How does that make you feel when you're out and about on those sort of journeys like that?
So even though I was away in Malta, it was still my manager's show in Malta. So there's a few lads on. Steve Fergo, he was on. There was a few scouts on. So it went like I was away on my own sort of thing. So there weren't much difference. To be honest with you, I preferred it. The reason why I preferred it was because not many people went over to watch me, so I felt like I had no pressure on me.
Okay. So like when we said about earlier, about 300, 400, 500 people, there wasn't any, and that was better for you.
It's not even that, just having my family. I don't want to, I hate having my family watching.
Sorry, Mum. Sorry, Dad. Don't come watch me box. I don't want to see
it. For me, I need to perform in front of me dad. And meet me mum and me dad and that.
Bless him. But he's only got your best interests at heart, I'm sure. And he just wants to see what all dads do. I want to see the best for my kids. So that's always the same. So okay, so there's something in the pipeline. obviously the opportunity's been missed at the moment in regards to that championship, silverware, goldware, whatever you want to call it, belt, strap, whatever. Anything that, obviously, is there a belt that you'd like to go to? Obviously, you're still young in the career. You're 24, aren't you? You said to me before we started. So 24 years old, got another 10 years in the sport, maybe more. Where would you like it to go? Is there a particular thing you'd like to get to?
World title. I want a world title. Obviously, before that, I've got my eyes set on the British title. That's what I really want to win, the British title. And then when I win that, I'll move on to better things. But right now, I still want that title at the end of the year, at least. But I'll leave it with Steve. Steve's looked after me so far. I'm in good hands. So whatever Steve says, we'll do.
Good. Yeah, listen, look, I'm sure it'll come up. I'm sure it'll come off.
Yeah.
In your, because what are you boxing at? Super light, or is it, or light?
I've boxed at super light so far, but I'm going to do lightweight for titles.
Okay. And that's where you sit naturally? Is that if it's, or are you having to concentrate to get down?
I make super lightweight easy. Okay. But lightweight might be a bit harder. I've made like a pound above lightweight.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay. It's difficult, isn't it? It's difficult to answer that question because you've never tried it or never challenged yourself to come down and go up. And I'm at the moment trying to lose my own weight, so weight loss is hard work. It's slow process sometimes, and when you've got to fight the week after and you've eaten too many Nando's, I could say that jokingly, but I'm sure all boxers should be sponsored by Nando's. I'm pretty sure that's how it should work.
Yeah, definitely.
Should all be sponsored by Nando's.
Tell them to get on me.
Yeah, definitely. Sponsor the podcast as well while you're at it. I don't mind spicing. I don't mind as long as it's that really mild one because I can't do the spicy stuff.
Medium's all right for me.
Medium, yeah. Just what's the garlic and lemon herb one? That's good for me. I'm that soft. I am really that soft.
Mild.
Yeah, but super mild, and then just a free drink. That'll be fine. I'll be happy every day. So the British though is the big one. Is the catalyst. That's where you want to go for. I get that. It's a beautiful belt, isn't it? You know, when it comes to look at belts, I mean, there's ones that are all over the place. Different promotions, and nothing really compares, I think, to the British boxing title. It's beautiful.
I think as well. Once you reach British level, it just propels you for the rest of your career. Like once you there's no going back really. Once you're at British level, if you win a British title, the sky's the limit then. Yeah.
It is beautiful. And it's a standard belt. I mean, we talked about, we've had conversations in the past with like silvers and other things. We're very lucky in the UK. We've got quite a small country in regards to a small number of bodies and stuff. You think about America, there's state, and then there's the national championships of America. So once you get from state to, then it's a big jump. Sometimes there are regions, but west and east coast, and there's a bit central, but there's not as much. The competition is wider and there's more people in it. So it's get something like that over there. It certainly feels that they are doing something, and they probably may even skip that and just go up to a silver or something that sits in there. With our system, the British, as you say, it's a standard bearer. You are the standard bearer for boxing at your weight category in that division, with the British Championship on your shoulder or around your waist. So absolutely, I agree with you on that one. So is there a particular belt though that looking ahead beyond the British, you said that catapults you? Is there some belt that you go, I want that? That's the one I want to go for. That's the one I'd like to just even challenge for.
Just any world title. Just have a world title now in my waist and I'll be happy.
Yes, man. Yes, good. Okay, so any World Championship, green gold, red gold, black gold, anything gold, basically.
Preferably, if I could pick, I'd have the green and gold, the WBC.
I see. I knew that. I kind of knew that. I kind of got the inkling you would be a green and gold boy.
Or the ring. I like the ring belts as well.
Well, that is beautiful as well. I mean, I got to say, I didn't like the undisputed championships that they brought out. And I was like, they were a bit UFC. And I was like, the UFC one's a bit boring as well. Have you seen? There's a championship for one fight, which is massive and takes up more shoulder than anything else.
Yeah,
that's a beautiful belt as well. Isn't it huge, massive?
Yeah,
but maybe
similar
we need
to the UFC belt, isn't it?
It's I think the older version. It's kind of it's I don't know. It's massive, with one across the front of it. Beautiful belt. But I'm a wrestling fan, so for me, Big Gold is always going to be the WCW Heavyweight Championship of the world. That belt is just beautiful and my favorite belt. But never going to happen for me because I'm never going to box or wrestle. So not at my age anyway. So not again. There we go. Beyond boxing, is there anything you think, like, you know what I'd like to do? I'd like to do something like, I don't know. Is there anything you'd like to do after boxing? I know it's a long way off, and that's really not something that you probably even thought about yet.
No, it hasn't even crossed my mind, to be honest with you.
That's fair enough. I get that.
If someone give me a pair of footy boots to play for Liverpool, I'll snap your hand off for that. Like, but I don't think that's going to ever happen.
You're not going to play for Everton?
No. Well, yeah, if you pay me what they get paid,
They might be in the first division next season. So.
No.
Look, I can't argue. I'm a Spurs fan, so what do I know?
Oh, yeah.
I know nothing about football whatsoever, apparently, as a Spurs fan, because we can't seem to win a game, and then when we do win a game, we seem to lose in other ways, and so it's just very Spursy. I'm just glad that's made the dictionary last Christmas. Spursy is now an official word where it's very Spursy. That's how it works. So. Anyway, what do I know? Right. We have a closing tradition on the podcast, and it's just a very simple either-or question. Tell me which one you prefer. There's no tricks to it. Just go with it and roll with it, okay? So, southpaw or orthodox?
Southpaw.
Body shots or head shots?
Head shot.
Train alone or with a partner?
With a partner.
Okay. Early bird or night owl?
Early bird.
Heavy bag, speed bag?
Heavy bag.
Okay. Boxing gym or outdoor training?
Boxing gym.
I like to be in the warm, don't you? I get it. Short and powerful punches or long and technical?
Short and powerful.
Okay. Fight dirty or fight clean?
Fight dirty.
You're about the second person to say that. I've been doing. I've done about 25 episodes now. You can always listen back and find which ones were. Okay, loud crowd or quiet atmosphere?
Loud crowd.
Quick knockout or strategic win?
Quick knockout. Quick knockout.
Quick knockout.
Yeah.
Good man. The very last hypothetical question, because I don't think this fight is ever going to happen, but we live in hope. AJ or Fury?
I'd say Fury. But I couldn't argue with AJ either.
You're not on your own with that, mate. You're not on your own. There's a lot of people. There's a lot of love for Tyson still out there, and there's still a lot of love for AJ out there as well. So I think I'd love to just see it happen. I kind of feel maybe a little bit past their prime, but I'd still happily pay on pay-per-view to watch it. So
I think everyone would, wouldn't they? To be honest,
I think so. I think there's money to be made there, and if they're listening, or the management's listening, maybe Mr. Warren or Mr. Hearn can make that happen. Who knows? Maybe the Sheikh can make it happen as well. Let's just live in that hope.
Get me on the undercard.
Get me announced in the undercard as well. Absolutely. Let's do it in Saudi where it's warm.
Yeah. I know.
Not in the cold Tottenham Stadium like they did for the Tyson fight before. That was crazy. I was absolutely freezing that night. Anyway, enough about me. Ethan, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. It's been a blast to have you on tonight. I've thoroughly enjoyed having you. Hopefully you've enjoyed it as well.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
It's my pleasure, mate. How do people get involved? How do they follow your journey? How do they get involved with you and follow you on the socials?
My Instagram is ethanbryan.8. My TikTok's the same. That's all I really go on, to be honest with you.
That's all you need in life now, I think. Yeah. TikTok is king. I mean, they've got a shop and everything. Where I buy random things like this. I don't know if I can reach this. These little little creatures.
Oh, yeah.
They're like fidgety toys. My son loves it, so, and my daughter loves them as well. So I've just got 2 of them now on my desk that live here, so that's fine. That's okay. Anyway, thank you so much, Ethan, for coming on again. Ethan Brown, ladies and gentlemen. And we'll wish you every success in the future.
Thank you. Nice one, mate.
Okay, we will. And I can't wait. I want to announce you. Make sure you speak to your promoter and say, he's a good MC. Forget Bob. Let me go. Yeah, best of luck to you, mate. We'll see you again soon.
Thank you.
Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for listening to the Big Hype Podcast. We hope you've enjoyed this episode. And really, I just want to ask you personally, if you could just send this on to a friend. Send it in their text, to their socials, to WhatsApp, whatever. However you get it to them, just get it to them. I'm sure they'll appreciate it, and I certainly will appreciate it. So thanks again for listening to the Big Hype Podcast, and thank you again for sending and sharing.